name's Liz, I'm the baker that sews. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you are a subscriber. As always, it's really lovely to have you here as I share my sewing journey. So welcome back to another episode of my Sunday sewing catch up, and I'm on episode 10, which is amazing. So I did have a little break. Thank you for all your lovely messages when I shared on my community tab that I was taking a little bit of time off, around 2 weeks, so that I could go away on holiday, and that meant that I would have missed 2 Sunday sewing catch-ups. So I am back with a roundup. Now I have decided in this video not to share all of the sewing that I would have shared in my Sunday sewing catch-ups, but I filmed a separate video that I'm going to bring out because all of the sewing that I did up until that point was all for my holiday. So I've done a separate vlog already, I just need to edit it, that will come out after this one, where I talk about all the different things that I sewed ready for my holiday, because I had like a week of sewing where I sewed various things. There's a couple of things that I'm going to share in this video today, but the majority will be shared in that one video, so I hope that's okay. Before I get started with my catch up today, I'll let you know what I'm wearing, and this is the Friday Pattern Company Davenport dress, made in this gorgeous fabric. I think I got this from Rainbow Fabrics. It's a viscose twill. It's sort of a blue background with all these gorgeous little flowers all over it. And then the Davenport's got this gathered elastic here that creates this gorgeous neckline. It's got ruffles in the shoulder, quite poofy sleeves, and then you've got a lovely drawstring that brings it in at the tummy, and then pockets, and then this, all of the versions actually have got this gorgeous ruffly tier on the bottom. I'll put pictures in as always, but that's what I'm wearing. It's really comfortable. I absolutely love the Davenport dress. I should make more really. I've only made a couple, but I'd definitely like to make some more. So I have got a roundup of lots of different things to share with you today. So I've got some fabrics, I've got a lovely little trip that I took, I've got some things that I've been sewing, I've got some sewing plans and some other bits and bobs. So I'm going to get started. Oh, the other thing to say is, if you do subscribe to my channel, you might have noticed that I've had my hair cut. So I had been growing it just so that I could tie it up when I was away, but I always like to get my hair cut before the new school year. So I've had it all chopped off, ready for the new school year, and I'm really pleased with the length of it actually. I'm always a little bit nervous about getting it chopped short again, because I had a bit of a disaster a few years ago where they chopped it like really short and I really didn't like it. And obviously hair grows, and my hair tends to grow quite quickly, but I really like this length. It's slightly shorter at the back and longer at the front, and I wanted it to stop below my chin, so I'm really pleased with how that looks. So the first thing I wanted to share with you was some fabric which has now been turned into some garments, but I was really lucky before I went away to get across to Sewist. So I didn't realise actually how close Sewist is to where I live. It's about a 40-minute drive, and actually I've not driven past it, but I've driven really near to it, and I just didn't realise where the location of it was. So I take my children, and actually I've taken the school children on a trip to a place called the Lookout Centre, which is in Bracknell. So it's about 40 minutes away from where I am. I've spent loads of time there with my children. They've got a great outside bit. There's a Go Ape there, and you know, I've been loads and loads and loads. And I didn't realise that Sewist was literally another 10-minute drive away. And Tamlin was visiting family, I think, and she said that she was going to go to Sewist if anybody else fancied meeting up. So I said that I was free because it's the summer holidays and I've never been and I've always wanted to go, so it was the push that I needed to get myself there. And then Laura, who is the Specky seamstress, also said that she'd quite fancied a visit there too. So we all met up. It was really lovely to meet sewing people in real life. I have met Tamlin before at the Sewing Weekender, but I was so nervous at the Sewing Weekender and incredibly shy that I didn't actually speak to a huge amount of people. I found it quite overwhelming. The next time I'm lucky enough to go to the Sewing Weekender, I think I'll be a bit more confident. But when I went there, I was too shy to say hello to Tamlin. But this time round, I wasn't, and we had a really lovely time. We looked at some fabric, we encouraged each other to buy fabric, and we had a nice, I had a cup of tea and a slice of cake. And it was just really lovely. And then we had a wander around sort of the little village, the little craft village where Sewist is set. It was such a lovely morning. And then yeah, I came back and I'd been WhatsApping my girls to say, oh, do you like this fabric? Do you like that fabric? And then I picked up a fabric for myself, and when I got home, my husband decided that he liked it and he asked if I could turn it into something for him. So I ended up with no fabric really for me, but I think that gives me an excuse really to head out to Sewist again. Let me know in the comments if it's somewhere that's close to you, because I'd love to meet more people, like more sewing people in real life. It was such a fun morning with Laura and Tamlin, and they're both so lovely. I really enjoyed myself, so thank you, Tamlin, for organising that. So I'm going to show you what fabrics I bought from there, and I'll talk a little bit about what I turned them into, but I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail because I filmed a separate vlog, because I was worried this would turn into about 3 hours. Because I've got so much that I want to tell you. So if I find the fabrics, I bought 3 different fabrics. The light's going to be a bit tricky with some of these fabrics because they're on a dark background. I just saw it go incredibly bright then, so I'm going to come up this way. So I got 2 cotton jerseys because I wanted to make dresses for Ruby and Lola that they could throw on when we were around the pool or just be really comfortable in when we're travelling. And this was the first fabric, so it's got this gorgeous like pale blue background and then all these colourful dots all over it. And Laura, the Specky seamstress, said it reminded her of Easter, and I can totally see that. So I ended up turning this into a dress for Lola. She chose that fabric over the phone. And then Ruby went for a darker fabric, so I'm just going to show you that one. Hopefully it's going to come up okay. So it's a navy background, and it's got splots, that's not a word. It's got splatter print all over it. So it's like aqua blue and white paint splatters all over it. And Ruby wanted a really long dress. So I used the t-shirt pattern that I've got, and then just attached a gathered skirt, and then she wanted it to be really long, so I added another like gathered tier on the bottom, and she's really pleased with how that's turned out. And they both wore them loads when we were away, which is great. That's exactly what I wanted them for. And then I got a crepe de chine fabric, which is a fabric that I don't sew with very often, but this has got tigers all over it. And if you followed me for a while, you'll know that as well as the colour green, I absolutely love anything that's got rainbows or tigers on. And this fabric just, as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it. So I'm going to come up this way in the hope that it doesn't cause the camera to go too bright. But look at those fun tigers all over it. So it's a navy background, and then it's got tigers and then this pattern all over it. And I used a McCall's pattern to make a shirt for my husband. So that is the shirt. I'll put pictures in of him wearing it so you can see what it looks like. Now the pattern that I used is this one. It's the McCall's M6044. I think somebody recommended it to me as a really straightforward men's shirt pattern because that's what I wanted. I've made him the Sew Over It Hackney shirt before, but that's quite a long process. It's quite fiddly, and you know, that's got a yoke. It's got the I think they're called, I can't remember what it's called. You know where you put the, is it a placket on the cuff where you have to put the buttons? Anyway, it's got all of those fiddly bits and bobs. This shirt hasn't. It's just a really straightforward shirt, and I made up view A for him. There's line drawings on the back, so you can just about see it's actually a really straightforward shirt. There's no yoke. He wanted the short sleeves because it was for going on holiday, and I actually ended up sewing up 2 of these shirts for him because it was really straightforward shirt to sew up. So I'm really pleased. I would definitely recommend this as just a really straightforward shirt pattern for anybody really. This pattern the pattern that I bought is sizes small, medium and large, but looking on the back at the sizes, I know that it goes up to an extra large. So it's the McCall's 6044. For a small, it's a chest measurement 34 to 36 inches and a waist measurement 28 to 30 inches. And then for an extra large, it's a 54 to 56 inch chest measurement and 50 to 52 inch waist measurement. So I would definitely recommend that pattern. It was a speedy sew and he loves it. It's quite a relaxed fit on him too, but that's exactly what he wanted when we were going away. So I'm really pleased with that. So that was all of the fabrics, and that was the shirts that I wanted to share with you too, and I really enjoyed sewing them. And the nice thing for me going away was that it wasn't just me that was wearing clothes that I'd made, but I felt really proud that my family were really happy to wear things that I'd made too, which was exciting. And then I also sewed up some of the Sandpiper swimsuit sets for myself, but also for my girls. And I talk about that in the vlog that I filmed, where I'm sharing all of my holiday makes. So watch out for that. If you haven't subscribed, do make sure you subscribe, because you'll get notified of when that video comes out. So I've said about holiday sewing. Oh, the next thing I wanted to share with you was a new pattern that's just come out. And it's a pattern by Sew Over It. Now they try and release, or I think they definitely do release actually, they release a pattern, a PDF pattern every month. I'm part of the, I think it's called a VIP club, which you can sign up to at any point, and within that, I think it's £10 and you get a pattern included, so you get your money back basically. And then each month you get a sneak peek of the new pattern that's coming out. And they sent the email, I think I might have been away when I got the email, but I didn't buy it then, I've only just bought it. The latest pattern release from them is the Neve skirt. It's beautiful. I've really fallen head over heels in love with this pattern. It's quite fitted at the hips, and then it's got like this V yoke on the front, and then it's quite I think it then gathers into that yoke, so it's quite a swishy skirt too. They recommend fabrics with lots and lots of drape and movement. So I have bought the Neve pattern, and I'm really excited to getting stuck into deciding what fabrics I'm going to use and then getting it sewn up. It comes in 3 different lengths, so you can do, I'm just going to check my notes, a short, a midi and a maxi length skirt. And I watched the video where Lisa talks about the pattern, and she talks about it being a transitional piece in your wardrobe. So it's one that you can wear in the summer when it's warm, but you can also layer it up, put on a long sleeve jumper, and put on tights and boots, and then you're all set for the autumn winter too. So I'm really excited about getting this sewn up, and I've got a few pieces of fabric that I think I'm going to try out for the Neve skirt. So it comes in sizes, the 2 size bandings. So a UK 6 to 20 and then a UK 18 to 30. It's got a V-shaped yoke, which is close fitting around the hips. And then, like I said, it's sort of, it's gathered into that yoke, and then it's really drapey. It's really beautiful. I haven't got the instructions printed, but I'll put images in of what it looks like. In terms of fabrics, they recommend light to medium weight fabrics that's not too heavy, but with lots and lots of drape. So like a viscose crepe, a tencel or a lawn. So in terms of the sizes and the measurements, for a UK 6, it's a bust measurement 31 inches, waist measurement 24 inches, and then a hip measurement 34 inches. And then for a UK size 30, it's a bust measurement 57 inches, waist measurement 50 inches, and then a hip measurement 60 inches. Yeah, I haven't bought many of their patterns over the last couple of months, but this one, for some reason, I just fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. And I don't sew very many skirts. The other thing to say about this pattern, it's got an invisible side zip, so that's how you get in and out of it. So I'm really excited about getting this sewn up, and I think it's going to be a pattern that I'm going to try and sew a few versions up, so that I've got them to wear to work throughout the autumn and the winter, and I'm definitely going to try layering them up too. So I'm very excited about giving that pattern a try, especially because a skirt pattern is something relatively new to me. I don't sew very many skirts. Having said that, when I talk about my sewing plans at the end of this video, I am going to be trying to sew up a skirt in the next couple of weeks, ready for the autumn, which I can't wait for. I love the autumn. It's one of my favourite seasons. I love it when it starts to get a little bit chilly and the evenings start to draw in, and it just gets really cosy. And I also absolutely love Halloween, so I'm very, very excited about the autumn. I also love that anticipation of the new school year. So I love September because I love getting to meet my new class. I love getting to know their little personalities and their characters, and you know, the things that excite them. And it's just, there's something really magical about starting a child off on their school journey, and just making sure that it can be as happy as possible. So I do really love September for that reason. I'm very excited. So the next thing I wanted to share was something really lovely and kind. So I got a message from Linda, who is Granny Linda Sews over on Instagram. She sent me a message to say that she was sorting out her buttons, and she came across some buttons that made her think of me, and she thought that I would really like them. And would I mind if I gave her my address so that she could send them to me? And I just thought it's really lovely and thoughtful. So I was going away, so I didn't receive them until I came back off my holidays. They were obviously sent, but I hadn't opened them. So I got a little envelope with the buttons in here and a little note on there that just says I hope you like them. And they are so amazing that I need to now find some fabric to go with these buttons. But they're pirate themed, and I just think they're going to make the most fun addition to a dress or a shirt for work. So I'm just going to take them out of the packet. So there's like a little map. Don't know if you're going to be able to see them. I might have to take a photo of all of them. There's a little pirate flag. There's a parrot, which is awesome. I just think they're amazing. Oh, there's another parrot there as well, actually. Yeah, there's some little pencils. There's a treasure chest. There's a pirate ship. There's a hook. Like, they're just amazing, and it's just a really lovely, kind and thoughtful thing. So I just wanted to say thank you really to Linda for sending me these buttons and thinking of me. Now I need to find some pirate themed fabric. So if anyone's got any ideas of where I can look for some pirate themed fabric, that's what I need to do next. I need to find that so that I can use these buttons on a couple of makes perhaps. So thank you, Linda, for thinking of me. That's really, really kind of you. I'm just going to pop them back in the envelope so that they don't get lost. So next, I've got some wax melts to share with you, and I've talked about these before. So these are by Korrie Korrie. She is over on Instagram, but she's got a shop called Coven by Korrie. And I ordered some Harry Potter themed wax melts because my youngest daughter absolutely loves Harry Potter. And Korrie was donating some money to a charity from every sale of these. So they came in this gorgeous little box. I've ordered 2 sets of them. And then they come wrapped up like this. So lovely. Wrapped up in black tissue. And then they've got the little stamp like a Hogwarts letter and tied up with some gold string. And then inside are all of the little, they're like sorting hats, and they smell absolutely amazing. I think they were butterbeer scent. So they smell like caramelly. They're absolutely gorgeous. There's so many different ones with the lovely little glitter all over them. And these are vegan wax melts, which is what I also really love about them. Korrie makes them all herself, and she's just released a Halloween special of wax melts and candles. So I'll link her shop down below. I have just bought some more wax melts, and I've bought a candle because the candles smell incredible, and they also last a really long time too. So I'll link her shop, her Etsy shop down below if you want to go and check her out. I love finding small businesses to support, and I just love her ethos, and her products are incredible. They make my whole house smell amazing. Now we've got wax burners like in every room now because these just smell incredible. So thank you, Korrie. They were wrapped beautifully, and they just smell incredible too. So I just wanted to share those, especially if you are like me and you love Halloween, because she's got loads of Halloween scents. There's also, I resisted getting this, but I may go back for it. There is a Halloween advent calendar with different wax melts for a countdown to Halloween, which I thought was quite exciting because we all, you know, we all count down to Christmas, or most of us count down to Christmas. But a countdown to Halloween I thought would be really fun. So she's got one of those too, which is really cool. So the next thing that I wanted to share with you was some amazing fabric that I got from Sew Me Sunshine, and I'm smiling because this fabric is just amazing, and I'm really, really excited to have a go at sewing this up into something. I've got 2 ideas about what I want to turn this into, both trouser patterns, because that's what I need in my wardrobe. But it is this fabric. Now I quickly checked what it's called. It's a cotton peak fabric, which I've not heard of before. It's a dead stock fabric, and it reminds me a little bit of a canvas type fabric, but it's slightly lighter weight than a canvas. It's not quite as thick as a canvas, but it's this amazing fabric. So fun. It's got animals all over it, and I love animals. I've got quite a lot of safari and jungle print fabric. But yeah, it's got like, you can see giraffes and zebras, and there's rhinos and monkeys, and there's a lion, I think there's a deer, there's a rabbit. Like, I just think it's so fun. If I hold it open so you can see how amazing that looks. It's really, really fun. So I think I got 1.5 meters of this fabric because I'm going to turn it into a pair of trousers. I'm just going to hold it up a little bit more. I feel like you need to just get the magic of this amazing fabric. Like, there's an elephant, and then I'm not quite sure what type of bird that is. It hasn't got a huge amount of drape, and I think that's just the type of fabric that it is. It feels, it's heavier than a cotton, but it's not quite as heavy as a canvas fabric. And when I watched the video where this was shared, there was a suggestion that it would work really well for trousers. So I'm going to either turn this fabric into the Nina Lee Portobello trousers, because I love that pattern. Fits me really nicely. It's really comfortable shape on me because it's quite high-waisted, but there's still quite a lot of room around the tummy for days when I'm sort of bloating. Or I've just bought a new pattern, which is the Anna Allen Pomona trousers, which is an elasticated waist trouser, and you can do wide-legged or you can do tapered leg. So I might turn it either into those or stick with my original plan, which was the Nina Lee trousers. The Portobello trousers. Let me know which ones you would turn it into. I just think that fabric really needs to sing. If I was to do the Anna Allen Pomona trousers, I would do the wide-legged ones, I think. And that's why I'm really drawn to the Nina Lee pattern, the Portobello, because I want to use as much of that gorgeous fabric as possible. But it's definitely going to be turned into some trousers of some sort. It's really fun. Sadly, I think this is all sold out, but I'll link Harriet's shop down below anyway, because she's always got the most amazing fabrics and they're always really fun. They've just I think they've just added a load of dead stock fabric to their website with some really fun prints, so I'll link them down below so you can go and check them out. But I absolutely adore that fabric. I think it's going to be a really fun one to wear to work. Okay, what else did I want to share with you? Oh, I was going to say that I would get back to you about the fabric that I used the voucher. I think I'm just going to adjust the light. I think this lamp is making it too bright, so I'm going to turn this lamp off and pop the main light on, I think, before I share the next thing. Okay, I think the light's better there. It was just getting a bit fuzzy and it wasn't very clear for you to be able to see. I think you could see this fabric really well, but I'm going to hold it up just in case you couldn't see it properly, because it's such a fun print with all those beautiful bright colours. So I'm very excited about turning that into a really bright pair of trousers. It's really, really fun. So then, yeah, the next thing I said that I was going to share in my next Sunday sewing catch-up, which is today's, was the fabric that I got from the Sewist fabric shop. Now, I won a voucher as part of the Sew 70s challenge that's going on over on Instagram at the moment. It ends in a couple of days. It ends at the end of August. So if you're watching this after August, that challenge has already finished. But I won a voucher for this fabric shop. So it's called the Sewist fabric shop. And the idea behind the Sewist fabric shop is it's all plain fabric. So that's quite unusual for me because I don't go for much plain fabric. But having said that, when I'm sewing things like these amazing trousers, well, they will be amazing trousers, I do need some plain fabrics to go with that. Because I think something bright on top as well as something bright on the bottom and busy won't work quite so well with a fabric like this. It needs a plain top. I feel like it needs a plain top so that that fabric can really sing. So I really enjoyed having a look at their website. I'll put in a little video of me using their website so you can see it's really straightforward, and it was quite fun choosing some fabrics. So I ended up getting 3 fabrics and they're all plains because that's all that they stock on their website. So they are over on Instagram at the Sewist Fabric Shop, and I'll link them down below, and I'll link their website as well so you can go and check them out if you want to. So I got a little postcard with a thank you for supporting their small business. So I got 3 pieces of fabric. I wondered if I had, yes, I've got the delivery note here. I like to be able to tell you what the types of fabric are. So let me have a look. I ordered stretch linen viscose in a vintage rose, and that was, I think they were all remnant pieces or they were in the sale. So this is the first one. I love this colour. So this was just less than a metre, and it's stretch linen viscose in vintage rose colourway. It's not going to come up properly on the camera, but yeah, this is the fabric. So it has got, let me see, it has got stretch to it, and I'm just going to turn this into a simple top. I'm not decided on the pattern yet. I might use the I Am Patterns Joy top, or, I mean, there's less than a metre of this. So I don't think I'll be able to get a sage brush out of this. If you've got any top suggestions, please let me know. But it's a stretch viscose. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what to turn it into, but I would definitely like to turn it into a top. And actually that colour might go really nicely. I think it would go really nicely with that fabric actually. So please let me know if you've got any top ideas, woven tops patterns for this fabric, less than 1 metre, which I know is quite difficult sometimes. It's quite wide. Does it say how wide it is? 130 centimetres wide. So I feel like I should be able to get a top out of it. I just don't know what pattern. And then the next thing I got was some cotton jersey fabric, and it's just in a plain white sort of colour. It's just a cotton jersey. It's quite lightweight. And what I'm going to do with this, I've been promising my girls that they can tie-dye something for ages. So I'm going to sew up a couple of t-shirts. I'm just going to use the Tilly and the Buttons Tabitha t-shirt pattern because I know it fits them well, and I can tweak it to fit Lola. And then we're going to have fun doing some tie-dye, and there might be enough for me to be able to get a t-shirt out of it too. And then we're going to have a go at doing some tie-dye. Now, I've never done tie-dye at home before, haven't got a clue where to start. I know that I could probably Google it, but if anybody else watching this video has done tie-dye and you've got some top tips for me, I would really love to get some top tips and just some pointers on where to start with tie-dyeing, because I think that'll be a really fun, like, rainy day activity for us to have a go at doing. So yeah, I got nearly 3 meters of this fabric. On the notes it said that I had ordered 1.5 meters, but it was the roll end, so they gave me whatever was left for free, which was very kind, so thank you for that. So that's going to become 2, possibly 3 t-shirts that we're then going to tie-dye and customise to make them our own. So I'm really excited about that. And then the last fabric that I got, I'm just going to check what it is called. Another stretch linen viscose, and this time it's in navy. Now it doesn't look navy, it looks black, but that's just the lighting in here. It's definitely navy. And I got 1.5 meters of this, and this is 130 centimeters. And this again is going to become a top, I think, although it could become some trousers. I could turn it into some Sophia trousers because I think they would be quite a good staple in my wardrobe. Now this is definitely not going to come up properly. It's going to make the light go a bit funny because of the colour of it. It's a really deep navy colour. So yeah, and it's a stretch navy. Really good quality. All of these fabrics feel like really good quality fabric, and the service was amazing too. So I would definitely recommend checking them out if you are after some plain fabrics. And it was really reasonably priced as well. So I'm really pleased that I managed to get some plain fabrics, even though it's not my usual choice. I do think they're going to come in really useful in my wardrobe and plug some of those gaps. And I'm very excited about doing some tie-dye with Ruby and Lola as well. So the next thing I wanted to share with you was a Patreon program. I'm part of 2 Patreon programs. So I just wanted to talk about my experience being part of them really. It's not something I was hugely aware of, but it's only that I saw, I can't remember who was sharing it, but I saw somebody else share it. But the lovely Sally, who is Modista Sewing, I'll link down below over on Instagram, runs a Patreon program. So what that basically means is you subscribe to her Patreon program. It's £3 a month, and within that you get access to discount codes, usually for fabric shops or patterns. You get tutorials. There's usually a virtual social each month. And then you get monthly content, so it might be a blog post, or it might be top tips, it might be a hack or a tutorial. And then there's a monthly contest where there's prizes, so we'll be set a challenge. It's optional whether you take part in that challenge or not, but then there's prizes for the winners. There's lots of sewing content too, and it's £3 a month. I haven't actually accessed any of the social side of things, like the Zoom meetings and things, but I've really enjoyed like the blogs and the sewing content and the discount codes and things. Like I think we had discount code for Hey Sew Sister, a discount code for rainbow fabrics, and it's definitely worth it just for that. The £3 a month, if you use your discount code, you're going to get that money back on the money that you're saving off fabrics and things. And it just feels like a nice little sewing sort of thing to be part of too, and I've really enjoyed the chat with lots of other people that are part of that Patreon program. And then the lovely Alice, who is the Polkadot Palace over on Instagram, I'll link her details in the description below as well, has just recently started a Patreon program. So if you go to her bio on Instagram, you'll be able to find out more information about it. Her Patreon program is £4.50 a month. And I have subscribed to that mainly because she makes the funniest sewing reels. So I absolutely love her Instagram content, and I just felt like that was worth you know, paying the £4.50 for just for her sewing content. There are tutorials, pattern hacks, PDF patterns. There's a mini tote bag PDF pattern that's over on her Patreon at the moment. She does discount codes as well, so there's a discount code for Nina Lee at the moment. She did a hack of, I think it might have been the Sophia jumpsuit by Tilly and the Buttons, and she shared that hack. There's loads of content over there already, which has been really interesting and really useful. So I'm really looking forward to getting some more tutorials and things. And I thought £4.50 a month for Alice and £3 a month for Sally, I think is actually a bargain, because they're creating lots of amazing content and lots of lovely tutorials too. So I just thought I'd mention it because it wasn't something that I was fully aware of really. It's only that I heard off other people, and then I thought I'd check it out. And I've been really enjoying reading that sewing content and just learning some new skills as well. So I just thought I'd share that with you just in case you're interested or you haven't heard of the Patreon program. I think there are lots of people that do them, but I really like the community aspect of Sally's Patreon program, and I am determined to join one of the Zoom meetings. And then Alice, I love her sewing content, and I love the funny sewing reels that she does. And also she shared a couple of really cool hacks too that I would really like to have a go at doing. And also the tote bag. I'm always saying that I need to make a bag, so I need to check out that pattern and have a go at sewing up my own tote bag. So last thing that I wanted to round up with was some sewing plans. So I've got a couple of days until the new school term starts, and I'm really hoping that I can get a couple of hours here and there of some sewing. So I am currently sewing up, I think I might have mentioned this in my last Sunday sewing catch up. My daughter Ruby absolutely loves cosplaying, which is dressing up as different characters. And she has set me the challenge of making Ruby a black suit. So she wants a black blazer or black sort of fitted jacket and then some black trousers. And I was going to use the Sophia trousers from the Make It Simple book by Tilly and the Buttons. But I've recently purchased the Anna Allen Pomono trousers, and they're slightly tapered, and I think that's going to give her a better fit on the trousers. So I'm actually going to use that pattern to make the trousers. It's just in a black fabric. I think I've got it here actually. It's just a black sort of suiting fabric. It reminds me of a twill fabric actually, that we just got from Fabricland, which is near us. So I've got that all cut out ready to go. And then for the jacket, I'm going to sew up the Sew Over It Cocoa jacket, and I've got the pattern here. So this is what I'm going to use for the jacket, and I'm going to fully line it. I've just got some cotton lawn in a black fabric that I'm going to line it with. And I've measured her. I'm going to sew up the 8 for her. It might come up a little bit too big, so what I might end up doing is just increasing the seam allowance and just sewing with a larger seam allowance. But I don't think it matters too much if it comes up a little bit too big, because it means that she can grow into it and she's got some room for that. And then she wants me to make a face mask. If she'll show me a picture of what I'm actually making, I'll put an image in of what it is that she wants me to make for her. So that is my job. Definitely need to get that finished before I go back to school. And then I've had a Nina Lee Camden skirt cut out for a while, so I've got it here. And this is just using some fabric that I got from Felicity Fabrics in their bundles that they do. So I just got some navy corduroy, and then I got some floral. It's on a navy background with a floral print cotton. So I'm going to use that fabric to line it, and then the main fabric will be this blue needle cord. And I think that will become a real staple in my wardrobe. I love the Camden. I'm just checking I've got the pattern name right. I love the Camden pinafore, and I love that fit around the waist and the shape of the skirt, but I haven't used the pattern to just make a skirt, so I'm really excited about having a go at making just the skirt, because I think having it in that navy needle cord, I think will go with an awful lot that I've already got in my wardrobe. So I'm very excited about that, and that is cut out, ready to go. I just need to get that sewn up, and I don't think it should take too long, the skirt. It's just lining the pockets and top stitching them on the skirt, putting in a zip, attaching the waistband. I should be able to get that done in a couple of hours, hopefully. And I'd like to get that done before I go back to school as well. And then I've got a blouse that I've cut out ready to sew up. And again, this is described as an easy pattern. The level is easy. And this is a Liberty Fabrics pattern, and it is the Esther tunic top. It comes in lots of different variations. So A, B, C and D. So I'm going to show you. So those are the line drawings. And then it comes in sizes extra small up to an extra, extra large. So an extra small is a bust measurement 75 to 77 centimetres, 56 to 58 centimetre waist and 80 to 83 centimetre hip. And then for a extra, extra large, it's a bust measurement 117 to 122 centimetres, a waist measurement of 99 to 105 centimetres, and then a hip measurement of 122 to 127 centimetres. And that says it's a 4 up to a 26. In terms of suggested fabrics, they recommend a cotton, a crepe de chine or a silk. And I'm using this cotton lawn that I got in a Fabric Godmother Dream Wardrobe box. And actually this pattern came with this fabric. It's a gorgeous like floral sort of cotton lawn fabric. And all of these sort of reds and oranges really remind me of autumn. And I think this is really going to go well with the Camden skirt that I get sewn up in that navy needle cord. I think it's going to be a really gorgeous sort of combination of two patterns. And again, that's all cut out. It's just ready and waiting for me to sew it up. So those are the plans that I've got in the next couple of days. That sounds like quite a lot. Hopefully I'll be able to get them sewn up. We'll see. When I go back to work next week, we've got 3 days of training, so the children don't start until the following week. So I might not feel too exhausted, so I might be able to do a little bit of sewing in the evenings, and then the following weekend I'll be able to get back and do a little bit of sewing too. I know how important it is for me to keep sewing there in the background when I go back to work. It's really good for me in terms of switching off from work. So I'm hoping by having a couple of easy projects like the Esther top just there ready to go, then I should be able to just do a little bit of sewing each night, and it will make me switch off from doing my schoolwork. I should have said the version that I'm going to do is actually the version that Model's wearing. It's got elastic for the cuff for the sleeve. I love this detail here with the gathers, and I love this neckline. So I'm really excited about giving that a try. Let me know in the comments below what you're currently working on, if you've sewn any of those patterns, and if you've got any top tips for me with the tie-dye too. I would really love your help with what I need to do and what I need to get, what I need to buy, and just any top tips on how to make sure that we don't make a massive mess. That would be great, thank you. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please do make sure that you've hit that subscribe button. I will be back soon with another video. Take care. Bye.